All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the stream. How is everyone doing today? I hope I find you all well, and I hope you are in a good mood and ready for gaming fun today because we got a double new release day. Double new release. That's right. We're continuing on with Deathloop on the first stream today, which quite frankly feels like today's the first day I'm playing it, and I'll explain why in a moment, since so many people have been asking me about my opinion on Deathloop, and I'm like, I can't have one yet, okay? And on the late stream, continuing on with Life is Strange True Colors, a game that has surprised me with how good it is, how entertaining it is, how fun it's been, how well written it is, and the fact that I cannot wait to play more tonight. So, I am ecstatic about today's streams. I hope that you guys are too. And I want to say welcome to the pre-stream. We've got a lot to talk about today. In fact, we've got a lot of positive updates today for all of you. So I hope you're ready for some positivity, because I got some for you today. All right? Good stuff. Today is Wednesday the 15th of September 2021. If you're wondering why you can hear the PS5 dashboard in the background, it's because the PS5 had an update overnight. Updated the console and the dashboard itself multiple ways. And from what I'm to understand, things have improved. For example, when you're actually here on your dashboard, I'll show you guys because I just saw this. I just noticed this myself. When you're on your dashboard and you now go over a game, it tells you the version of the game that you're playing, which avoids issues because if you guys remember, big confusion when PS5 launched is that people were downloading the wrong version of a cross-platform game. See, Anniversary Edition of Street Fighter is a PS4 game, but Tormented Souls is a PS5 game, and it calls that out on the dashboard to make sure you're playing the right version of the game. Some people at launch accidentally were downloading, like, the PS4 version of Spider-Man Miles Morales instead of the PS5, and were playing the wrong version of the game. So that's now been fixed. I guess apparently now the trophies list also is different, because the trophies list was going horizontally across your screen. A lot of people liked the old school scrolling up and down vertical list, so I think they fixed that. From what I understand, they added more support for surround sound. Like now it can do virtual surround for a headphone setup when previously it couldn't do that, or, among other things, okay? Does it have dual audio out? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that if I were to plug my headphones into the controller right now, that it would mute the stream. In fact, let's test that right now. Ready? I'm going to plug this in. And there you go. Muted the stream. Wow. That's just ingenious, isn't it? That here we are, almost a fucking year after this console launched, and they can't figure out that something that was always an awesome feature, you know, is now, oh, we're not going to use it anymore. Like, what the fuck, dude? They are just dunces in that regard. Like, I mean it. Like, I'm sorry, but how is it that they are so boneheaded that they don't understand that people who make content want dual audio out of their console? Xbox Series X has it by default. PS5 still doesn't have it. I'm checking it right now. I'm in the menus. It ain't there. Yeah, it only lets you select one audio device for output. That's it. Either controller headset or HDMI, which is your TV. That's it. Yeah, they only allow you to do one or the other. As stupid as that sounds, wow. I mean, I'm still blown away that they're that dumb. I really am. Like, I'm gonna unplug it now, so you're gonna hear the PS5 dashboard again. There it is. I can't believe it. I seriously can't believe how dumb they are. Let's just take a feature out without even asking anyone if it's something they used, right? So anyway, it is what it is. Hopefully the dashboard update helps us in some way. If not, no big deal. But I had to do this. Plus, there was a controller update as well. So I had to plug my controller in via USB and get that updated. So I did that this morning, and now the PS5's on. So you can hear the dashboard music in the background of the pre-stream today. So that's why you're hearing that. Okay? All right. So let's talk, everyone. First of all, I feel like I should talk about a lot of positive stuff before we even get to the schedule. All right? First of all, ladies and gentlemen, as of last night, the thread in which you can nominate games for the upcoming Halloween Marathon event is live. I finally had a chance last night. I sat down and forced myself to have some time to do this. All right. So as of right now, if you type !Halloween into the stream chat, or every 15 minutes or so, the link should auto-post itself anyway. It'll open up the thread, click on that thread, go over to my forums, and you can start nominating games for the Halloween event. That nominations process will likely be open for about the rest of September. I'm thinking probably at the very tail end of September, what I'll do is I'll close it off, and then we'll take the highest nominated games, the ones that were nominated the most by you guys, and create a poll by which you guys will then vote on what games will be in the Halloween event. Okay? Hope that sounds good. And I hope you guys will begin to nominate stuff. That's live as of right now, just started. Well, actually, it was last night, but, you know, first time I'm actually mentioning it publicly, so I hope you'll give it a look. That's number one, okay? Number two, the thread where you can post up questions for the upcoming Ask the King episode is also live, and I need you guys to post up questions because Ask the King is in 2 weeks on the 30th of September. That's the final Thursday of this month is Ask the King. Ask the King is my Q&A show where every 2 months or so I sit down and I answer your questions live here on stream. It's usually a really good time where I get to have in-depth answers instead of just, getting a question on the fly during a gameplay stream and sitting here and answering it within a minute and then moving on to the gameplay. Instead, I get to really sit down and answer you guys in depth. I get to think about my answers ahead of time and really have thought out responses. And people like the show. You know, I've actually said in the last 2 years, I said, I think at some point there's going to be a logical stopping point when we don't need to do Ask the King because I talk to you guys every day on stream, right? But people have adamantly told me, no, keep the show going. We love Ask the King. It's one of your longest running shows, almost like a legacy of the old days of YouTube. Before I was an interactive live streamer and I was just doing on-demand videos. At that time, Ask the King was really the only way that you could get a response out of me because there was no interaction in the gameplay that I put out. So people like the fact that there still is a dedicated place where you can get, in-depth answers to questions that you ask me. And in addition to that, people who are patrons of mine get to ask questions that are guaranteed to be answered in detail on the show. So that's another reason, I guess, to keep it going. So that will be at the very end of the month. Like I said, the last Thursday of the month, September 30th. If you want to post up questions for the show and get a very strong chance they'll be answered, type !Ask the King into the stream chat, and that'll bring up the link. Or you can wait about every 15 minutes or so, and again, it will pop up in the stream chat for you guys to click on and go post up your questions, all right? So those are two very important things that I wanted to clear. Now, I have another thing that's a very positive update for those of you who are members of this channel, or if you're planning to become a member. All right, I figured it out. I got it so that now I can actually have members post up comments on members-only posts on my community tab of this page. It took a while to figure out, and it was a major pain in the butt, but I got it working. Okay, so originally we were saying, members will be able to nominate games for the Halloween event, but then I was like, well, it's not working, so we can't. Well, I messed around with it more, and I figured it out. It's not ideal. It's literally bootleg. Everything on YouTube is like this, where YouTube cuts corners as much as it can. It reuses code as much as it can. So the same comment system that leaves comments on videos is the same comment system that you guys use to chat right now live on the stream, which is the same comment system that they use as the comments on your channel page. They literally didn't code anything individually. They used the same code and copy and pasted it on 3 different parts of YouTube. Even though they're completely separate from each other, they act like they're the same, and so settings from one carries over to another, okay? And that's frustrating, because obviously I couldn't figure that out, and I'm like, why the hell, even though I have it set up for comments to work, are they not working? So I had to mess around with it for a while, but after a while of, messing and finagling, I figured it out, and now they're working. So the way it works is thus, okay? When I post up a community members only post on my community tab of my YouTube channel here, okay? You guys are able to now post up comments in response to those posts. However, they don't show up right away. And I just want to clarify that. They're not going to show up right away. The way that it works is I need to manually approve the comments. Not to say that I don't trust you guys that, you know, if you're a paying member of this channel and supporting the channel, it's not that I don't trust you guys to just post up your own comments at all. That's not the case. But if I don't set it up like this, all right, people would be able to post comments anywhere all over my channel without any kind of check or balance, right? And you guys know what happened when I used to have open comments on my videos on this channel. You know how that went. It didn't go so well, right? It was definitely a big mess. It was, oh my God, nasty thing here, insult to a family member there, doxing here. You know, every post was something fucked up. So that's why I had to turn off all comments on my YouTube channel, DSPGaming, to begin with, like over 3 years ago. But now I'm in a situation where I can do it so that I can manually look at and approve the members-only comments, okay? So this is good, because this means that, yes, you will be able to nominate games for the upcoming Halloween event if you're a member, and I'm going to take the suggestions of the members, count them up within a, 1 to 2 week period here, and then do a members-only series of polls to determine what games will actually make it into the Halloween event, and one of the games that the members nominated and voted on will be making it in, guaranteed, okay? So you will have a strongly increased chance to get a game you're interested in into the Halloween marathon event if you're a member. And by the way, if you're a member, you can still nominate games in the open nominations on my forums. It's not because you're a member. It's not like, oh, you can't double dip nominate. Yes, you can. You can still do the open nominations, and then you can do your members only nomination. Okay? So, that is a big positive for being a channel member. People were asking me, Phil, what can you do to add value to being a channel member? And this is something that I can now do. Thank God I found another awesome thing to do for the members. Now, moving forward, will there be other members-only interactions and things? Yes. What will they be? I don't know yet. But I'm sure we'll be talking about it, because now I got it working, right? That's cool. That's positive. I'm very happy about that, all right? I'm very appreciative of those of you who become paid members. And by the way, hopefully now that I'm showing you guys that I can go the extra mile a little bit to give you some extra value, maybe we'll convince more people to become channel members now, okay? All right, I hope so. Martin Luther King Cobra says, could someone suggest Jet Set Radio Future as a game for nomination? You can. You can do it. There's open nominations. Why are you asking someone else to do it when you can do it? Oh my goodness. All right. So anyway, guys. Speaking of members, I feel this is a pertinent time to bring it up. We're currently at 265 total members on this channel. The most we ever had was 275, and we lost a few over the last week. It happens. I'm not going to sit here and cry about it. All I'm going to say is thank you guys who have been supporting the channel. And I would love to hit the 285 member goal by the end of the month. We still have 2 weeks to do so. And we have many new releases coming out between now and the end of the month. We're currently playing Deathloop and Life is Strange. Within 1 week's time, 1 week of today, it's the premiere of Lost Judgment and Kena Bridge of Spirits. So we've got a lot of new games coming out between now and the end of the month, and a lot of opportunity for people to jump on and become members and support the channel, all right? In addition to these members-only posts that I'm mentioning that will now be a part of your memberships, there's also the fact that your name gets highlighted in the stream chat. You get a cool chat crown badge to show how long that you've been a supporter in the stream chat. You also get access to 20 of my emotes and climbing, because the more members we get, the more emotes unlock. And you don't have to abide by the slow mode rules of the stream chat. You get to chat as much as you like here on the streams. Okay? So that's many positive benefits to being a member. And I hope that those of you who are sitting here enjoying the streams day in, day out, and can actually become a member and just haven't yet, will consider doing so now, because now there's a lot of good positive reasons to do so. Okay? Good stuff. All right, I hope that sounds good. One other quick thing before we get to the schedule. So, we're now in mid-September. In a week, it's going to be the fall here in Washington State of the United States. I am looking to get rid of this air conditioner and get it out of my window. And it's actually cooled down enough outside. It's in the 60s now, where as long as it stays cloudy, it's nice outside. And I feel that if I actually opened my window all the way and maybe had a fan in front of it, that it would be cool enough in here that I don't need the air conditioner anymore. I don't want the air conditioner on anymore. It makes noise, and quite frankly, the room is a lot more stuffy with the air conditioner in it than if I was able to open my window all the way. Okay? So, I've been looking at the weather, eyeballing it. and it looks like it is supposed to stay in the 60s. It doesn't have any plans, the weather anyway, of going above 60-something degrees and hitting 70 in the near future, at least the next week and a half. We even have days where there's going to be full rain. We have not had rain here in 3 months, and that is incredibly abnormal. Usually we're known as one of the rainiest states in the United States, and we had basically a drought all summer. We're finally going to get rain. It's actually been, we were just told within 3 days we're going to get more rain than we received in 3 months. So, yeah, it's coming. We're getting the fall rain is coming, okay? So I'm thinking either today, tomorrow, when I get a chance, I'm going to pull this air conditioner the hell out of the window, and I'm going to open it up and get a big fan in here and get that going. And you're going to notice changes to the lighting and stuff when that happens, because then you have the natural light coming in from the window rather than just this, this lamp. This lighting situation is because of the lamp, the yellowish light of the lamp. But when I open the window, then you get that more natural blue light coming in. And it's funny because when I've used that, sometimes people are like, oh, it looks so different. Like, yeah, it actually is very different when I use that natural light. So you may notice that soon. I'll let you know when I actually do that so that there's no shock. Oh my God, why does Phil look so different? Why does it sound different? I don't hear the ambient noise anymore. The fan that I'm going to use is actually a fan that we bought over the summer. It's a tall standing fan, but it's a very quiet fan. It's very quiet. When we use it downstairs, you can barely hear it. So that's the one I'm going to be using in here, and it actually moves air really nicely. So I think it's actually be better than it used to be last couple of years. So, all right. So that got all that stuff out of the way. We can now get to the gaming schedule today. This first stream, I'm continuing on with Deathloop. This is only my second stream of Deathloop on the PS5. I got probably, I'm not even kidding you, more people in the last 24 hours have asked me what I think of Deathloop than I think most people have asked me about any game in the last year. People really want to know my opinion on this game. Sadly, I have to keep telling everyone the same thing. I can't answer you yet. Because yesterday, the first session of Deathloop was 3 hours long. And although we did see the introduction to the story, introduction of characters, the fact that you know you're going to have to assassinate these certain targets on the island, I think they're called the Visionaries, and we've seen some of the gameplay mechanics. In 3 hours, we have not even gotten past the intro of the game yet. The game is that slow-paced that 3 hours into it, you have not unlocked your abilities yet. I don't have the traversal abilities yet. I don't have the ability to upgrade weapons or anything yet. We just finished a mission where you kill the first visionary, and when you do, you get what's called residuum, which is the, I don't know what they call it, the element or whatever, that allows you to keep stuff between time loops. So you get a bunch of upgrades, and then you die, you'll keep those upgrades because you have this residuum, okay? So to me, that kind of blows my mind that this game, again, just a day or two ago, all the reviews hit the internet. All the reviews stated this game is like game of the year. Oh my God, one of the most original, best games I've played in many years. I can't believe how good this game is. 10 out of 10. I boot up the game, and the game is incredibly slow-paced. It plays almost exactly like Dishonored. It looks almost exactly like Dishonored in every way. And in 3 hours, we're not past the intro yet. It's like, I don't know, but for me, I like a game where you jump in, and maybe you get a few tutorial things, but, you know, you basically get into the meat of the game, and you get to understand what the game's going to be within the first few hours. I don't even know yet. We didn't even get into the actual gameplay loop of the game yet. So, I would feel pretty stupid trying to tell you guys, oh, I love the game, or oh, I hate the game, when I don't even know what the game is. I've actually talked to a couple people who've played way more than me, probably about double as much as I have. And they're like, yeah, once you actually get past all the intro shit, the game gets really good. But man, does this game take its fucking time. And I hate to say it, but I'm going to give you guys a little comparison. Alright? The Last of Us 1 versus Days Gone. In The Last of Us 1, in the first hour of gameplay, you're tossed into the past where the zombie invasion happens for the very first time. The chaos, the death, it's crazy. Then it throws you into the present day where you see the repercussions of this zombie invasion having happened for about, a few years. And you see how everything's kind of locked down, militaristic, and how crazy the world has become for humans because of it. That's crazy action-packed intro, scary as hell. That's how you get into a game. Days Gone decided to go a different route and has a 10 hour-long introduction. For the first 10 fucking hours of Days Gone, you're going around with limited abilities, limited loadout, blowing up zombie nests. It's boring as fuck. And it's not until like hour 10 when finally the game starts to open up. You start to travel to other towns. You get more abilities. Now the game gets fun. Okay? So comparing the two directly, one game throws you right into the thick of things right off the bat. Oh my god, look at this. Look how crazy this shit is. The other one's like, okay, here, do boring repetition for 10 hours and then things will pick up. Do you see the difference? And how many people said Days Gone sucked and didn't actually play through it and skipped the game because the first 10 hours were boring? Now, the thing is, that game was outstanding after the first 10 hours, but you have to get past them. I'm one of the few people who did. Okay? Deathloop. I played 3 hours and I don't even know what the game is yet. Like, what? You see what I'm saying? Like, I hope, I really sincerely, positively hope that after today's stream, another 3 hours in Deathloop, 6 hours of gameplay, I sincerely hope everything has unlocked, we're past the fucking intro, and I know what the game is. Seriously. Because a game with the slow as molasses start is bad both for me and for you. Alright? And I know that. I absolutely know that. Because you guys yesterday, overwhelmingly on the stream, told me this is boring. And I had a hard time arguing with you. Here I am. I'm playing the game at its own pace. I'm not playing it slow, but I'm also not rushing through it. I'm trying to take my time, immerse myself in the world, learn the mechanics and everything like the game wants you to. But 3 hours, and we don't even know what we're doing yet. People are bored to shit. People were literally complaining, this is game of the year. Like, why would all these outlets have kissed this game's butt? People are screaming now, oh, paid reviews, paid reviews. Now, listen, this game might very well be insanely good. But it's all about pacing, man. And obviously, they didn't fucking know what they were doing when it comes to pacing. This is terrible pacing. You go to fucking sleep in the intro, because it's basically the same mechanics of Dishonored. It really is the same game right now. Now, maybe once we get all of the abilities, all the traversal, the Deathloop thing, the upgrades and everything, it'll be very different. If that's the case, great. I can't wait. But I'm tired of waiting. I want to get into that today. Like, really, today I want that to unlock, and I want to get to the good stuff. So I hope we do. I really hope we do. Alright? So, let's see what happens over the course of today's stream. I'm hoping for the best. Again, I'm trying to be fair with this game. I don't want to slam it. I don't want to kiss its ass. I want to judge it for what it is. First 3 hours were slow-paced and boring. The thing is, here's the thing, and you know what? I guess I should emphasize this. Okay? Let me emphasize this. Alright, I want to even turn the camera on for this. Maybe if we knew absolutely nothing about what this game was. Imagine if you didn't have any information about the game. You didn't see any trailers. You didn't see any gameplay. Nothing. No teasers. You were playing it for the very first time. Maybe then the premise of, oh, you die, but then you respawn. It's the same day over again, kind of a Groundhog Day scenario. I see, as you play, you learn more about how to do stuff, and you improve, and yeah. Maybe it would have been interesting. The first 3 hours, that is. But the thing is, this game has been pushed down our throats for 2 years. They have released more gameplay trailers for this game than I think I've seen on average for 5 games added together. You know what I'm saying? There's been teaser after gameplay teaser after fucking trailer after trailer. We know what the game is because you told us 27 times in the last 2 years. So the first 3 hours when you're going through the basics to explain what the game is, we already fucking know. I don't even watch gameplay trailers and teasers that often, and I know everything about the game because the game has been shoved down our throats so much because of marketing. I think in this case, this may actually be a situation where marketing hurts the game because people know too much about it before it came out. I probably would have liked the first 3 hours if I didn't already know we're in a time loop, we respawn, yada, yada, yada. It's like a roguelike, you know? So, what I would argue is, it can absolutely backfire, okay? And maybe that's a case of what's happened here, okay? So, today, I really hope we get to the meat of the game, and man, do I hope that the meat is good. I hope that the meat is tasty, juicy, and delicious. Full of vitamins and the things that we want as gamers. and not full of filler and or rehash stuff that we've already done in the Dishonored games. Because I'll be honest, this game is 95% like Dishonored. No, it's not going to blow me away. I've already played Dishonored 3 times. The first game, the second game, and the standalone expansion. Playing Dishonored 4, but calling it Deathloop, is not going to impress me. So I do hope that this game does have things to differentiate it from Dishonored. Not, oh, it's Dishonored 4 under a different guise, a different skin, and we're just going to pretend like it's not. No, I'm not. That's not going to fly with me. Okay? So let's see what happens today. I'm excited for today because this is another kind of a interesting stream where it'll help me judge what I think about the game. Okay? I feel either way, if it ends up falling on its face and being too slow-paced and boring, that's one thing. If it picks up and becomes super interesting, that's another thing. Hey, either way, at least we get answers. Okay? Okay, good. Now, later tonight, on the late stream, ladies and gentlemen, it is the continuation of Life is Strange True Colors. Alright? I've been talking about this game recently. I'll talk about it again right now. It's actually surprisingly good. In my opinion, not only is it one of my favorite games in recent memory because the story is so well written, it's actually, in my opinion, possibly the best Life is Strange game there's ever been. Right now, with the way that the story is going, if it keeps on the level it's on, I think this may actually be the best Life is Strange, even better than 1. A lot of people liked 1 because it had its time manipulation mechanics, and it had a really intriguing kind of murder mystery style story. Well, so does this game. It actually has a very similar kind of plot where there's an overwhelming conspiracy underlying the plot line of what's going on in this small town in Colorado. And we're trying to figure out what the hell is really happening and getting to the bottom of it. Okay? So, I hope if you like narrative-based games, you will join me tonight at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Time. We're actually entering into Chapter 4 of 5. And I'm excited for this. Most people claimed the game was only 6 to 8 hours long. They blatantly lied. Alright? I'm gonna sort of repeat that. Ready? If you said this game was 6 to 8 hours long, you lied. That is dishonest to tell the gaming public, as a professional reviewer, that Life is Strange True Colors is only 6 to 8 hours long. The game is way longer if you play it the way it's meant to be played, meaning you explore all the facets of the story. Because what's the fucking point of playing a narrative-based game if you purposely skip the narrative to finish it quickly so you can rush your review out? Right? So this game is long. Every episode has been between 2 and 3 hours. So tonight we're going to play for 2 hours, and I'm going to have another stream scheduled for the weekend, and it may be the conclusion. I don't know. But I'm excited to see what happens with this game. I really am. It's been great, and I can't wait for more story later tonight at 6:45 p.m. Alright? So I hope you will join me later tonight for that. Now, tomorrow, guys, is up in the air. I hate to say that because I don't want it to be up in the air, but it is, and here's why. So I signed up. Hold on. Okay. I signed up for the Call of Duty beta, Vanguard beta, on the Xbox Series X. Okay? I actually got an advanced early access code to get into the early beta for the Xbox Series X by a viewer. They sent it to me. I registered on the site. I gave them my information. And they said, okay, great, you're registered. The beta starts on Thursday, the 16th. We'll send you the code for it, you know, when we're closer to it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're less than 24 hours away, and they didn't send the codes out. So if I don't get the code, I can't play the beta tomorrow. I don't know why they're dragging their feet. Like, why would you wait till the last second to send out the beta code? It doesn't even make sense. It's not like you can play it right away. It's up to when they want you to have access to the server, so why aren't they sending the codes out? So if they don't send it out, there's nothing I can really do about it. We're kind of stuck. Alright, I was planning on doing this. It was going to be the big thing for me to do tomorrow. Major stream of this beta. See if I like the game. Remember, this game is running on the Modern Warfare 2019 engine. And I don't know if that's going to be any good or not. I didn't like Modern Warfare 2019. Alright, I didn't. I thought it sucked. And this is going to be one of the things that was going to absolutely help me to judge if I was going to actually be playing this game or not. And I don't know what happened. I don't know why they didn't send it out. Okay? Now, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think that the open beta possibly for PS5 may be tomorrow. I don't know because I haven't been following that. I've been wanting to play it on the Xbox Series X. So because I haven't been following that, I don't actually know if the PS5 beta is tomorrow or not, the open beta. I know that it's cross-platform, and I know that there will be a version of the PS5 beta live tomorrow, but I don't know if it's the open one that everyone can play or not. So I guess what we'll do, let's see what happens, okay? I hope that I get the code for the Xbox Series X version. That's the version I want to play, because as I've told you guys, moving forward, any game that has surround sound as a critical part of the game, I'm going to be playing on Xbox Series X, okay? Why? Because it has surround sound. If I'm playing a first-person shooter, it's competitive, I need surround sound to hear enemies around me, I'm going to play it on the console that gives me surround sound, and that's the Xbox Series X. So, screw the haptic feedback. It's nice to have it, but I very much would like to hear where the enemies are, rather than feel my controller vibrate like it feels like I'm shooting a real gun, okay? So, that's why I wanted to play the beta. And I don't know what's going on right now. So, let's see what happens. Worst case scenario, if I don't get the beta code today or overnight, then likely tomorrow, if it's available, I'll get the PS5 version, alright? If not, then we'll have to pull an audible, and I guess likely what we'll do is do a major stream of Life is Strange, and try to get as far as we can so that I can wrap it up maybe on a night stream over the weekend, okay? Obviously, I don't want to do that, but that's kind of what I'm being forced into doing, okay? Now, tomorrow night, Thursday night, it's going to be my weekly late-night session of Street Fighter. And you may say, well, why are you doing Street Fighter on a Thursday night? You always do it on Friday. Well, this week, Friday's my day off. I know that's weird. My schedule for the last month has been very weird. If you guys remember, there's been extra days off for my wife's birthday, and her schedule's kind of been weird. So this Friday is my day off from streaming, which means tomorrow I want to do Street Fighter so that way we don't lose our weekly fighting game session, okay? Alright, so that's tomorrow night, and then on Friday I'm off. No streams on Friday, okay? I'll return on Saturday, and on Saturday it's going to be more Deathloop, and Saturday night will be more Hades, okay? Then on Sunday, depending on what's going on, there may be more Life is Strange, maybe not, because I don't know how far I'll be in the game. But it may be the conclusion of Life is Strange on Sunday, okay? And then Sunday night will be my weekly session of Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think this week we're going to Singapore. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. We were going to Singapore per the request of the top contributor last week. And then Monday will likely be more Deathloop and probably more Hades. And then on Tuesday, that's the big new release day. It's a double new release of Lost Judgment paired with Kena Bridge of Spirits. Both games releasing on Tuesday, okay? And then actually that Wednesday is my next day off. And again, I know that sounds weird. Like, wait a minute. You're going to have Friday off, then you're going to have Wednesday off. Yes. I know that's weird. But again, it's the only way that the dates have aligned so that we can have consistent days off. And then after that, okay, then it looks like things are going to get back to normal. And what I mean by that is if you guys have not, you know, been around, you know, over the summer was very consistent. During the summertime, essentially every week I either had a Tuesday or a Wednesday off as my main day of the week, and then the rest of the week I was here. And then the last month, everything's been crazy and weird, and I'm here, then I'm not here, and I know that. I know that it's confusing. So starting next week, I'm going to have Wednesday off, and then it looks like that next week I'll have Wednesday off, and then hopefully it'll be like that consistently throughout the rest of the hardcore gaming season. I hope. I want to have consistency, but as you guys know, it really is more dependent on my wife's work schedule than anything else. Okay? So, her's hoping for consistency moving forward. Okay? Okay. I think now I've covered everything I wanted to talk about in regards to the streams. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you in advance for your support. As you guys know, I'm an independent content creator. I don't have any sponsorships or partnerships with anyone. I'm an independent guy who just pumps out gameplay content for you every day. I share my honest gameplay experiences with you because I don't have those sponsorships or partnerships. I don't have to pull punches. I can be completely and utterly honest with you about every game that I play and completely share my thoughts unhindered, you know, live here on my streams. I love the fact that I'm a lifelong gamer and my hobby has been turned into my job, and I am very lucky to be able to do that. And because I don't have any sponsorships or partnerships, it's because of you guys, your crowdfunding support every day, that I am able to do this for a living. And I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys, for your ongoing support, okay? If you like the streams and you like the content and you want to keep them going, then please consider contributing in one of the following methods. Today, I'm actually going to mention a different method. Fan art and or animation submissions. You guys may not realize it, but I have zero artistic expertise. All this fan art you're seeing on the pre-stream right now, all the pop-ups that you see on the stream when people contribute, those are all fan-submitted. And they're all awesome. This, again, I've told you guys, this whole thing of me being able to do this is a community effort because of you guys helping me out, and I really appreciate that. If you want to make some fan art for the stream, if you want to make some animations for the stream, or maybe even upcoming, you know, for the month of Halloween, I usually do horror-themed animations. For the month of Christmas, I usually do holiday-themed animations. If you want to take a crack at that stuff, by all means, please do. And then you can email me at darksidefil@hotmail.com, and I'll take a look at your stuff and see if we can implement it on the streams. Okay? Thank you in advance to anyone who seeks to do that. Now, if you would like to contribute more monetarily, there are many ways you can do that. We've already talked about becoming a channel member, so I'm not going to go ahead and go too far into that. What I will say is, if we get 285 members by the end of this month, you guys will take part in choosing the costume that I will wear during my upcoming Halloween Marathon event. You'll actually be able to pick the category of costume that I'll wear. So that's a huge part of it, okay? Now, outside of memberships, there's something called a super chat or a super sticker. These are ways that you can contribute through YouTube itself. If you do these contribution methods, helps out the channel in the long term, just like the memberships, and you will get a highlighted message in the stream chat, okay? I go out of my way to try to shout out every contribution on the stream, so as long as you're in line with the rules of the stream, meaning no insults, not massively derailing the stream with topics that we don't talk about, like politics and religion and stuff like that. As long as you use common sense, you're going to get a shout out, and I pride myself on giving shout outs to every person who contributes because you guys, again, are the crowdfunders of this effort, and I really appreciate the fact that you go out of your way to support what I do, okay? So, memberships, super chats, super stickers are all great, but the best way to contribute and help me out would be by tipping me. When you tip me, those are funds that I get immediately to put towards something important, whether it's a bill, the cost of a game, going grocery shopping, having a nice meal with my wife once a week when we go out on our day out, or whatever it may be. That's what those funds go towards, all right? In addition, when you tip me, less of a cut is taken out of a tip than any other kind of contribution, just being honest, okay? So that's why, since tips are so important, we have goals in effect, reward goals, for levels of tips that are raised on a stream. For example, if we raise $50 in tips today on this stream, I'll put on my Gunner glasses. If we raise $100 in tips, I'll put on a hat of your choice. The hats today include the digital, the camo, and the platinum tips. Why those three? Because I can still wear my headphones when I'm wearing any of those three hats, and I want to wear headphones for Deathloop. It's a brand new release, and I feel like it's going to aid the playthrough, okay? So those are the three hats that are eligible for today. Now, as for vests, which is the full tips reward, if we raise $150 in tips on today's stream, you get to pick out of all the most popular vests, including the red, the platinum, the denim, and the gold, all right? So please consider contributing today, and if you can contribute via tipping, please use that method. That's the way that helps the most, and I appreciate that very much. All right, let us now move on to gaming news. There's two news stories that I want to talk about today, all right? The first is a hot rumor this morning. It has not, as of yet, been confirmed, but the hot rumor going around is sadly not a good one, all right? Battlefield 2042, the first Battlefield game in several years, the game that's been lining itself up to directly compete with Call of Duty, is going to have an open beta soon. The rumor is it's going to be around the 22nd of this month, so in about a week's time, supposedly Battlefield 2042 is going to have an open beta. What they're saying is that there's going to be like an exclusive media event around the 19th for content creators and journalists, and then after that, there's going to be, you know, an embargo that'll lift when they can talk about it. And then once all that's out of the way, then the open beta is going to hit the internet. So that's the first rumor. This isn't confirmed yet, but this is the rumor that this is going to happen soon. Within like a week's time, we're going to be having the beta and we're going to have to try it out for the first time. Okay? But the other rumor is not so good. The rumor is thus: Battlefield 2042 is likely going to be delayed. Okay? Originally, it was scheduled for a October 22nd release date, and that would have put it in a great position because that's a full 2 weeks before the release of Call of Duty Vanguard on November 5th. Now, I've been talking all along about the fact that if Battlefield comes out first this year, it may get a huge advantage, and here's why. Call of Duty this year has many things against it. There's an ongoing, investigation / lawsuit against Activision Blizzard by the state of California. And now, this is breaking news. This happened overnight. The employees within the company are suing the company too. They have banded together and done a collective lawsuit against the company for mistreatment and wrongdoing, which is really bad. It's one thing when an outside source is accusing you of something. It's another thing when the people who are directly involved are now telling you, yes, it's all true, and we're suing you for it. So they're pretty fucked at this point. Like, I feel that company overall is gonna have some major problems, okay? That number one, that's all going on. A lot of people are probably gonna say, I like Call of Duty every year, but man, this year I feel pretty guilty about buying it when I know this company is all fucked up internally. Okay, that's number one. Number two, the fact that there was going to be direct competition from not one, but two different FPS games. Battlefield 2042 in October, and then Halo Infinite in December. Halo Infinite being an Xbox Game Pass game that no one has to pay for. So, obviously, you've got a lot of competition around Call of Duty, right? However, if Battlefield gets delayed, all right, Call of Duty will now be the first major FPS to release this gaming season, and the only one for a while, because Halo is not for over a month after that. So that's not good. That would put it in a position where, it's the only first-person shooter available. And here's the thing that I want to emphasize, guys. In the modern era of gaming, content creation is a huge force that drives sales, okay? Right now, there are content creators that play exclusively FPS games. We're talking Call of Duty, but we're also talking games like Apex Legends and shit. This is what they play, all competitive first-person shooter games. These content creators are currently chomping at the bit for new content. They can't wait for these betas to release. They can't wait for these games to release because it gives them new stuff to play. All right? They are all going to get paid by these companies to play their games. Just don't make no bones about it. These content creators who are known for first-person shooter content will absolutely be paid to kiss these games' asses. All right? And they will. They absolutely will accept those paychecks, and they will sit there, and they will pump those games out and say that they're the best games ever. Every year they say this is the best Call of Duty. Every fucking year they say the same thing, then later on they slam it. Okay? If Battlefield came out first, then those content creators would play Battlefield first, and people would buy Battlefield. You understand what I'm saying? Having that earlier release window actually gives Battlefield a distinct advantage, because right now everyone is waiting for a new game, and that would be the first game. It would get all the hype, all the publicity, all the backing from content creators, and people would likely run out and buy it in droves because the content creators are playing it. If Battlefield is now delayed and will now be releasing after Call of Duty, this could actually shoot the game in its own foot, because it lost that advantage, and it doesn't have the yearly recognition of Call of Duty, right? Let's be honest, Battlefield 5, no one liked it. It did not sell well. Battlefield 1 didn't sell as well as they'd hoped, and personally, I didn't like it at all. So it's been a few outings since we had a well, universally regarded good Battlefield game. They're already having that chance where they basically need to have a great outing, and if you're coming out second, you're basically at a big disadvantage, man. So if this rumor is true, this is bad, okay? Now, here's the thing. Some people are saying, it's not going to be a major delay. They basically need to tweak it a little more, so it's going to come out in late November. Other people are saying, nope, this game's been delayed till 2022. Which leads me to believe when you hear two conflicting stories like that, there's no information at all. People are just making that shit up. They actually don't know what they're talking about, okay? I hope it's all bullshit. Personally, I actually really hope the game is still coming out in October. Now, by the way, I'm not saying, I hope that it comes out in October and it's broken and rushed and a mess because they pushed it out early. What I'm saying is I just hope the whole thing is a rumor and it's bullshit. I hope that it's all just people being a little nervous or whatever. I hope that none of it is true. I hope that the game is ready to go like they said, because, man, this would suck if, again, Call of Duty gets all the hype, all the fucking advertisement, all the focus, because it comes out first, even if it's the inferior game. I would hate that to happen, but that will likely happen if this is true. So let's see what happens. I got to keep a close eye on Battlefield, man. I hope it can still come out on time, but I guess we'll see. Okay? Now, the other piece of news today is personally a really sad piece of news for me, because the game we're about to talk about is actually one of my favorite games 2021 so far. In a year where I have told you guys there have not been a lot of great game releases that I really have to talk about. You know, maybe Resident Evil Village, probably 12 Minutes, which is completely unique. You know, as I said, right now, Life is Strange is quite good. But when I'm really looking at all the game releases, all right, that are out this year, there's not that many great ones. All right, and one game that I literally just completed and absolutely loved every minute that I played it was Psychonauts 2. You guys remember, I was one of the biggest critics of Tim Schafer and his game studio, Double Fine Productions, after the fiasco that was Broken Age about a decade ago. Crowdfunded game where the first half was amazing and the second half was completely rushed, complete garbage. All it did was reuse all the assets and had absolutely zero new content. So basically, you played the same game twice with the two halves. It was a complete botch job, and Tim Schafer never publicly apologized. In a lot of cases, he was never even held to task for basically squandering all the crowdfunding money of that game. Okay? So now, with Psychonauts 2, another game that was in development hell, I didn't really have any confidence in it. I felt that it was going to be a similar situation. But man, this game literally 100% shocked me in the good way. Everything about that game blew me away. The graphics, the innovative, storytelling and writing, the fact that it took elements from an old school platformer but modernized them in a lot of ways, the puzzles that were really fun, and just in general, just the dialogue and the quirkiness of the universe. The game was outstanding, and it actually was one of my favorite games in recent memory. Basically, I liked Psychonauts 2 way more than I liked Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart earlier this year. All right? But ladies and gentlemen, the sales numbers for August released, and by the way, Psychonauts, for those who don't know, Psychonauts 2 did release in August. It actually released August 25th. So that final week of August it released. Now, by the way, it was a cross-platform release. It was digital only. There was no physical release for it, but it was PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X. I don't know if it came out for PC, but I know it was all those consoles. And if you had Game Pass, it was included under Game Pass. So you would think with Game Pass pushing this game would have sold tons of downloads. And it didn't. This game did not even chart in the top 20 digital games. It did not even chart in the top games on Xbox for the month of August. Wow. Even on Xbox, the console where the game is essentially free, this game didn't chart. Okay? That is terrible. That is awful. And I just finished the game the other night. And I actually said in the finale, I was like, I really like this game. I feel this is the comeback for Double Fine Studios. And I would hope that because this game is so well done and critics liked it, they'll go on to make more game series, not just more Psychonauts, but maybe do other stuff. I would like Psychonauts 3, but I would like maybe another one or two new games to come out of this studio. But the game didn't sell at all. Yeah, it didn't sell at all. And by the way, digital downloads are Game Pass. So it's on Game Pass, that's why. No. The numbers I'm talking about include Game Pass downloads. So even with the fact this game was free on Game Pass, it couldn't make a dent in the top most downloaded games of August. Yeah. So that being said, ouch. Seriously. This game, I loved every moment of it. But I hate to say this, okay? Every time I played the game, the attendance of the streams was low, and everyone said, oh, this game looks boring because it's outdated, all right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, can I please say something? I am seeing an alarming trend that's really starting to worry me. Not only on my streams, but obviously now the sales numbers are telling this same story. Not every game needs to be incredibly action-packed. Not every game has to be full of shooting and gore. You know what I'm saying? Not every game has to be incredible adult content style game. Okay? Just because a game does not have incredible amounts of gore, sexual content, or adult content, it doesn't mean it's a bad game. There are games that can be made for more than one audience. In the case of Psychonauts 2, I feel that a kid could play that game and enjoy it, but an adult very much would enjoy it more because they would understand the plot and the quirkiness of the dialogue and the things going on in the game. You see? It's for multiple audiences. It works on multiple levels. Just because it's not, oh my god, there was no fucking gore or swearing or sex or anything in that game sucks. Like, no, it doesn't. You know what that means? You have a terrible attention span, and all you enjoy is stuff that's like, you know, you've been catered or I don't even want to say brainwashed, but your mind is in this weird vein, this weird tune, that you're only looking for a certain kind of content, and if you don't get it, then everything else is bad. That's not true. Even if you don't like the kind of game that Psychonauts 2 is, that doesn't mean it's a bad game. But sadly, it seems that seems to be the vein of people now. That's what everyone's saying with modernized games. And that's really upsetting because games don't have to be for a mature audience and have mature content in them to be good. I'm sorry. That's a kiddie game. Why are you playing this kiddie game on your stream? Because it's fun. Alright? Because it's fucking fun. Games are meant to be entertaining at their core. Yes, there are games that strive to be more artistic. There are games that strive to be more challenging. But at the end of the day, as long as you're getting enjoyment out of the game, what does it matter? Right? You don't have to look for these certain archetypes, these certain definitive points to say a game is good. That's not the case. I loved Psychonauts 2. I told you guys many times over the course of the playthrough why I felt the game was unique, different, and fun. And then you had the same people every stream. Oh, this is boring, man. Oh, it's like for kids. Why are you playing this fucking kiddie game? Dude, really? When you say shit like that, it just proves how immature and fucking undeveloped your brain is. Seriously. That if you don't understand that people can like different kinds of stuff, and that could be entertaining to someone, even though it's not gore constantly and swearing out the ass, then, you know, that's your fault. That's your shortcoming. That's not the shortcoming of the game dev or the people who are enjoying the game. That's your shortcoming. Okay? But for me, that really disappointed me. Because that game was outstanding in my opinion. And like I said, I'm one of the biggest critics of Tim Schafer and Double Fine Studios. I went into that game thinking I might hate it because I know the guy ripped everyone off. But I freaking played it and I was blown away and I loved the game. So like I said in the credits of the game, I feel like Tim Schafer kind of redeemed himself with this one. But now the game just did not sell. Right? It didn't sell. So without selling, I don't know what's going to happen. Double Fine was bought by Microsoft, by the way. They're now a Microsoft studio. So it's not like they're going to go out of business, all right? But I don't know what's going to happen now. Like I said, future projects, I don't know. Like Microsoft's probably going to tell them, forget Psychonauts. You got to do something different because no one bought this game. So you got to make something different and unique that maybe will get people's interest back or something, right? So it is what it is, man. You know, obviously I did my part. I tried to be honest with you guys during the playthrough and let you know that I love the game. But I saw firsthand the bias against this game when I was streaming it. That's sad that I saw that it even existed. You know, I can't believe that there's bias like that in 2021. But it is what it is. There is. And, you know, I was trying to be honest with you guys during the playthrough. I hope that those of you who did get something out of it, thank you for watching and supporting it. But that might be it. For Psychonauts and for Double Fine, I don't know when we're going to hear from these guys again. The game just didn't sell at all. So, it is, you know, I don't know what else to say about that. Sometimes the game doesn't sell at launch and then word of mouth makes it sell bigger later. But I don't think that's going to happen with Psychonauts, just being honest. Okay? Okay. Shoutouts time. We start out with, our first super chat is from Blog Comments, who says, Perfect Dark 02 will dominate 2023. It's a great FPS. Well, I never actually played Perfect Dark. So, I mean, I think the only one I played was there was a remastered version I played on 360 at one point or something like that. And I don't know if I beat it, but I played through a lot of it, and it was pretty outdated, but people wanted me to play it for nostalgia reasons, but I don't know anything about it. Maybe it will be. Swaggins just asked, why do you think that Tormented Souls, a relatively unknown game, was such a hit compared to another good game like Psychonauts? If you mean with my audience, because it's survival horror and it's gore. I'm serious. Because there was survival horror, because there was gore and adult content, and people like to see me play scary games. That's why. That's a genre that people love to see me play. A lot of people have told me definitively, we like you playing survival horror because we don't like to play it, and we can experience survival horror through you playing those games, okay? A lot of people say that to me all the time. They like my reactions to survival horror, whatever. They enjoy them because it's me being honest. You know, if a jump scare gets me, I'll laugh at it. I'm not scared by those games. I just basically react in a funny way, and people really like that. And of course, it's gore. It's, you know, it's adult content, so people like it. Okay. Tips. Anso Kamaru is the first tipper of the day with a $1.50 tip. He said, although the story, premise, and mystery of Deathloop are super interesting, it got dull and I ended up refunding it on Steam before I even hit 2 hours of game time. I got motion sickness playing it, so I'll enjoy your playthrough. I've been hearing a lot about this, that people playing first-person shooters can actually get motion sickness. Of all people, Hideo Kojima posted up on Twitter yesterday. He says, man, Deathloop looks good. I want to play it, but I always get motion sickness when I play first-person shooters, so I can't play it. I was like, wow, I didn't know this was a thing. I guess I'm lucky that it doesn't really affect me. Anso Kamaru did another $4.20 tip. That's the biggest tip of the day. Let's get that on the leaderboard here. Anso Kamaru. So we're currently up to $5 in total tips. And he says, your Life is Strange 3 playthrough is one of the most enjoyable things that I've watched on YouTube in ages. The game's story is so gripping, and your commentary is hilarious and natural. Thank you for the good times, man. I wish I could have caught those vids live. Well, it's all good. Maybe you can tonight. I'm on the late stream tonight is actually Life is Strange, if you can catch it, 6:45 p.m. Thank you for the compliments. I appreciate that. Snow Carl to the $1.50 and said, I felt you were getting frustrated by Deathloop due to the high difficulty last night. You think it's due to the fact that most games are easier now and they handhold you, or due more to you becoming a more casualized gamer? Either way, the contrast was clear. Actually, it's because I was playing it wrong. I was under the impression the game was like Dishonored, and from the get-go, you should be exploring everywhere you want to go and checking out everything and doing stuff. That's what I was doing. I went into this area that was the library. The game was literally telling you, this is tough, don't go in there. I said, fuck it, I'm going to do it. I went in there, I cleared it out. There's like literally 25 enemies in there. You weren't supposed to do that at this point in the game. I got all the items in there, come to find out you lose them after the death loop. I didn't know that. I thought you keep stuff. So I was like, wow, I did all that for nothing. It was like a half an hour of being frustrated with the game. The game doesn't do a good job of explaining itself to you early on. You're not supposed to try to do stuff like that until later when you can retain stuff through the loops. Why kill everyone in the building, take half an hour to do it, grab all the items, then lose them within an hour? It doesn't make sense. But if you can keep them, then do it. And I wasted time, essentially. I wasted a lot of time. So, yeah, basically once the game opens itself up to all of the gameplay elements, then you can do whatever you want, but it's a waste of time to do it in the first 3 hours. And that's what I didn't understand. So that's why I was getting frustrated. Still Carl to another $1.50 says, I see your point about people dismissing games due to their immaturity, but most adults aren't going to be able to enjoy games made for kids like Psychonauts or My Little Pony. Some adults do, but what makes you think the majority who don't are wrong? On what level do you think Psychonauts is the same as My Little Pony? The game's plot is clearly written for adults. There's romance, there's depression / emotional issues in there that are very adult issues. There's an idea that there's mass slaughter of people in a country called Grulovia. These are not kid themes. The game is not a kid's game. Gameplay-wise, a kid could play it and beat it, but it's not. The plot is not a kid's plot, right? That's the same as saying, you know, oh, Bug Snacks is a kid's game. Well, you're right. A kid could definitely play Bug Snacks and enjoy it, but the end of the game is not a kid's plot. That is an adult plot. I would not want a child playing the end of Bug Snacks. That's some dark shit. But I think you've proven my point that you're saying something like that. People who don't give the games a fair shot literally group games together that don't belong together. You know? It's just, you know, this is not fucking Barbie Make My Own House Simulator. This is not My Little Pony, you know, Grooming Rainbow Sparkles Special Edition. This is an actual game with a really adult plot with serious issues in it. Ban him? Okay. I've been requested to ban Snow Carl, so I'm going to ban Snow Carl right now for insulting Psychonauts in the way that he did. Alright, he's banned. He's permanently banned. He's not coming back. There you go, guys. Alright. Anyway, thank you, Snow Carl, for the tip. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time for a break. I'm going to use the restroom. You guys grab a drink or a snack, whatever you need to do. When I come back, we're going to continue on Oh, wait. Archibald just did a super chat and says, thanks for streaming 2 times a day, dude, in all seriousness. You're welcome, Archibald. I like doing this because it gives me the opportunity to do variety of stuff. If I only did one incredibly long stream, I feel like we wouldn't even be able to cover half the games that we do, so I'm happy that I do it this way. All right, let's take a break, guys. Grab a drink or a snack, use the restroom, do what you need to do during the break, and I shall come back after the break with more Deathloop. I'm really fucking hoping that this game picks up today and is not another 3 hours of intro, and by the end of this stream, we're still not into the meat of the game. If so, it's literally pulling another Days Gone, and I hope that's not the case. Okay? Thank you guys for being patient for pre-stream, and I'll be back shortly. See you in a bit.